Every day we wake up, there's more strange things going on, and guess what? We're here for it. We're gonna cover it. You found your tribe if you into the good, the weird, the strange, the ugly, the educational, everything. Just make sure y'all going out here and do your own research. Don't believe anything you see in these compilations before you go out here and do your research on your own. But look, man, positive vibes only. Let's get into this video.
You see it. Behold a Pale Horse by William Cooper. May he rest in peace. Bill Cooper, former United States Naval Intelligence Briefing Team member, reveals information that remains hidden from the public eye. This information has been kept secret in the government files since the 1940s. Man, this man was talking about the assassination of JFK, UFOs, the war on drugs, aliens, the NWO, the Illuminati, Project Bluebeam, interdimensional beings, CERN, all types of stuff, man. And this man is no longer with us today because he gave out too much information for the people. And let me just tell you, when I first tried to find this book right here, man, it took me forever. They even wrote my name down in the bookstore for even getting this book. What made me think, like, why would they do such a thing like that? Why are they writing my name down because I bought this book? That only happened to me one other time. One of the last books I posted, Aliens Over America. Stuff is wild, man. But this information is out here, people. If you want to learn more and know about your history and know about the things that's going on in this world and the society and why everything is the way it is today, then check out these books, man. I got more books to come and more information to give to you people, man. Behold a Pale Horse.
They used to meet in secret to discuss their mathematical discoveries. Only members were allowed to attend. They had a secret emblem, the pentagram. Let's see what the topic is for today. It was our old friend Pythagoras who discovered that the pentagram was full of mathemagic. The two shorter lines combined exactly equal the third, and this line shows the magic proportions of the famous golden section. The second and third lines exactly equal the fourth. Once again we have the golden section. But this is only the beginning. Hidden within the pentagram is a secret for creating a golden rectangle, which the Greeks admired for its beautiful proportions and magic qualities. The star contains the golden rectangle many times over. It's a most remarkable shape. It can mathematically reproduce itself indefinitely. All these rectangles have exactly the same proportions. This figure also contains a magic spiral that repeats the proportions of the golden section into infinity. To the Greeks, the golden rectangle represented a mathematical law of beauty. We find it in their classical architecture. The Parthenon, perhaps one of the most famous of early Greek buildings, contains many golden rectangles. proportions are also found in their sculpture. In the centuries that followed, the golden rectangle dominated the idea of beauty in architecture throughout the Western world. The Cathedral of Notre Dame is an outstanding example. The Renaissance painters knew this secret well. Think of a pentagram, Donald. Now put another inside, a third, and a fourth. No pencil is sharp enough to draw as fine as you can think, and no paper large enough to hold your imagination. In fact, it is only in the mind that we can conceive infinity. Mathematical thinking has opened the doors to the exciting adventures of science.
I'll be door. I've never seen so many doors before.
Each discovery leads to many others, an endless chain.
What's the matter with these doors? These doors won't open. They're locked.
Of course they are locked. These are the doors of the future, and the key is...
Mathematics.
Right. Mathematics. The boundless treasures of science are locked behind those doors. In time, they will be opened by the curious and inquiring minds of future generations.
Keep watching. It's crazy.
Hey NASA, we need some answers. Y'all posted this today, and it says, the moon shadow, or umbra, is pictured covering portions of Canada and the US as the space station soars into the solar eclipse from 260 miles above on August 8th, 2024. First of all, NASA, we ain't even in August yet, so y'all gotta give us some time to get there. But the real reason we're here is because of this picture right here. So this is supposed to be an astronaut on the International Space Station taking a picture, but it's upside down. So how could you be upside down and take a picture that's upside right? Come on now, NASA, make it make sense. And now we know y'all in cahoots with Elon Musk, and Elon Musk posted this 22 hours ago. View of the eclipse from orbit. So if you was on there and you took the picture upside down as we saw the astronaut was, how'd the picture come out upside right? Now someone flipped it, turned this upside right, and even then, your ass was upside down. So how the fuck could you take a picture of the earth upside right? Come on now, somebody make it make sense now, NASA. See, this is why we be having a problem believing the bullshit y'all be posting, because y'all always doing some weird ass shit, as you can see right here.
Let me know in the comments.
Did this song from 1969 predict the events of 2024? This theory says yes. So back in 1969, there was a song that was released called Age of Aquarius, Let the Sun Shine In by a band named The Fifth Dimension. In their lyrics, they speak very specifically about what the Age of Aquarius is and what will happen during the Age of Aquarius. Now, for those of you that don't know, the Age of Aquarius just began on January 20th of 2024. The band detailed that during the Age of Aquarius, there will be harmony and understanding, sympathy, trust abounding, and no more falsehoods or lies. And at the very beginning of 2024, the Age of Aquarius, this is already happening. There has been news about aliens and extra-dimensional beings, billionaires and millionaires coming out and being candid about their preparation for the end of the world by building bunkers. Big governments and individuals being exposed for lying, cheating, stealing, and hurting other people. And most importantly, news about World War III has been coming out day after day, warning us that something big is about to happen and that our world will change forever. Now, although some are hopeful for the Age of Aquarius, others are actually very fearful of it because some believe that the world will end during the Age of Aquarius, which is right around now. Now, whether you believe in astrology or if this band was right or wrong, none of that matters. We do see that something is changing and happening in our world right now, and we have to be prepared for it. So are you prepared for the Age of Aquarius and what's to come? Tell me what you think in the comments.
Y'all think y'all prepared for anything that's to come? I'm a firm believer in, yeah, we can be prepared and everything, but I don't think we'll be 100% prepared for everything, you know? So, because the possibilities are endless. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it in the comments, though.
the one single thing that is going to change history. The U.S. government is going to be offering incontrovertible evidence that we are not alone. That extraterrestrial intelligences and civilizations exist. They've been present and operating on planet Earth for some time. And there is evidence through alien spacecraft that have been retrieved and extraterrestrial biological entities that have been retrieved, that this is an undeniable fact that needs to be taken in by the world public at this time.
I have some exciting new footage for you that was literally captured today, August 21st, 2024. And shout out to Kim for sending this to my attention. So a group of locals in the Philippines recorded what they believe to be not one, but two giants. Now, as they're panning to these entities and recording them, there's something off about them. Some are claiming that they're giants, others are claiming aliens. Take a look at their forms because they look different. Could this truly be two extraterrestrials, or is this something else? Take a look at this footage and tell me what you think.
Yeah, you got one right here. Get him. That's pretty damn big. Pause. Pause. Then yeah, another one right there. My thing is, did they come out the water? Do y'all think they came out the ocean? Or do you think these are just really tall people like that? You know, the average person that's walking around, well, the average giant person that's walking around. They must be at least 10 foot, 15 foot tall, man, compared to these mountains and stuff. That's why, maybe even taller, right?
This was the real-life Truman Show. During the 1950s, a man named Chad Powers was a TV producer who had his own show called Sunnyville, where he played a fictional mayor in a fake town. The whole town was made up of 30,000 actors with only 5 residents, not knowing it was fake, and that they were secretly being filmed on a TV show. The creepy part about the show was that all 5 contestants were put on the show unknowingly. They were all put into medically induced comas and flown out to Antarctica, where the show was being filmed in a 250 square mile metal dome. Everything inside the town was fake or imported from other parts of the world. Chad controlled everything in the town, from the people to even the weather. But by the 3rd season of the show, Chad started causing trouble by creating artificial natural disasters in the town for entertainment purposes, which led to the passing of over 200 actors. At this point, all the actors wanted to leave but couldn't, because they were stuck in a dome. The show also had no purpose anymore, because the 5 contestants were eventually told everything was fake by the actors. Chad was livid about this and went on the town's news channel and told everyone that they all signed contracts and couldn't leave. This caused a revolt, and everyone went searching for Chad. A fellow producer named Ken Dahl, who was not happy with what Chad was doing, granted access to the rooftop of the dome where Chad was hiding, and the revolting actors were able to find Chad. When they confronted him, he begged, saying, "It's just showbiz, my friends." Not happy with that response, the actors grabbed Chad and threw him off the top of the dome, and he was never seen again. Over the next few weeks, the town was fully evacuated and then demolished.
Ain't no damn way that that's real. Ain't no damn way I don't know about that. We don't all know about. Well, we can say that about other things. Like, I'm gonna keep going, but like, is it real, y'all? The fuck?
I was raised in a fake town, and this is how I found out. In 1957, the US government conducted an experiment in the event of a nuclear war to see how test subjects would react to living in a fake town. 9 babies from foster care were brought in for this experiment and were given parents. As they grew up, they were not told about this experiment and that this town was basically life. By the 70s, most of them were having kids of their own. None of them had any idea either about this experiment or about the outside world, one of them being my parents, who had me in 95. Now, back in 1977, 20 years after the experiment, the government concluded it and kind of just left the sponsoring organization to host it. But the organizers secretly continued the experiment. The original residents tried to expose this, but were all diagnosed with being senile by the hospital. And one by one, they all just went missing one day, including my great-grandparents. Flash forward to today, and we have a thriving town. But something's always felt off about my life compared to what I saw on TV. All those special effects that they portrayed, all these vast worlds and valleys and water that just went on, and a sky that just was infinite, and those sci-fi things that can transport you around this vast world. My friends and I were in high school and would always get in trouble. Ever since we grew up, we always came accustomed to this door that some officers would use to enter and leave out of. We didn't know what this building led to. It just seemed so out of place, but we definitely wanted to go inside. And one day, that's exactly what happened. An officer opened the door just wide enough that it was still closing for a few seconds. We were able to sneak over and catch the door before it closed. We all got in. This fairly sizable building inside was just this corridor, a very weird design. We continued down and saw a bunch of doors. The closest one to us said Village 5. Curious, we opened the door to find a completely abandoned town. It looks like no one has touched it in decades. Shit, we made the fatal mistake of not holding the door, which had the same building. Just then we could hear the officers inside acknowledging the loud bang that we just made. We all decided to hide, afraid that we'd get in trouble that we entered this restricted town. Tune in next time to find out what happens. I was raised in a fake town, and this is how I found out. So to recap, we snuck into a place we weren't supposed to and were hiding from some officers. We saw their flashlights moving around and their radios going off, but then they just faded away. Be on high alert of potential escapees. Escapee? Escape from what? Once they left, we ran back out and made it back to our town. We cannot discuss this with anyone. We left, and I went home to my parents, who had the TV on. It was announced that a dangerous suspect was at large in our town. Someone had trespassed into government property. Interesting. Were they referring to this building? A few of my friends from that night were absent class. It's very odd. Things just didn't feel right. A town completely identical to ours is in shambles. Every old resident claiming the town we live in is false and disappearing as well. And then obviously this building makes it look like this is all a facade. It can't be real. This isn't real. Were all these movies and content real? All these people's lives were a lie? I'm not sure what I would find, but I headed to the library and I snuck into a back room. Inside I found a bunch of archived vaults, which had a timeline of the town's history. It went all the way back to 1957. This is the first file, and it says that this building was recovered from a fire which destroyed the previous documents. Kinda convenient. The back of the paper read something in small text. 214 back. For a second, I didn't get what it was trying to say, but I wanted to try something. I headed over to aisle 2, row 4, and I reached my hand to the back. I felt something. I pulled it out. It was an extremely dusty little journal, which read, "The Truth About Village 6. That's what the door says leading back to my town. I opened it to find these huge futuristic looking machines that were making a huge building. I thought to myself, that building must be the size of our whole town. And then I realized, that building is our town. Oh my god. So it's true then, everything's a lie. Just then I heard the library door slam open. It was the cops. I hid. Find out what happens in the next episode.
Not a damn thing.
You're pissed off. much.
Nigga, what? How we get here?
I don't know if y'all been recognizing and knowing it or not, but the moon been gone for like 7 motherfucking days. Now, I'm in Illinois, folks. I ain't seen no moon in 7 fucking days. Recently, last week, it was just said that we might just switch into another timeline. The crazy thing about it is, when that switch was going on, I know a lot of people that were feeling worried them days, even myself. Living in the time that it's possible that we finna see a whole different humanization out this motherfucker. Transhumanism type of shit. Like real shit. Then on top of that, y'all gotta think about anything possible right now. A lot of shit going on in the spiritual world. That's the reason why we've been seeing these ancient fish and creatures and things like that that's popping up in the ocean. Another crazy thing about it all, it's a lot of shit that people have been witnessing in the sky. Cause I've been witnessing the shit also in the daytime and the night. See, the real eyes gonna recognize. And if y'all been paying attention to certain people's videos, they'll tell y'all and let y'all know how the moon been fucked up lately, appearing upside down and all types of crazy ass shit. But like I said, this the 7th night with no moon. It said that moon wasn't the real moon anyway, and it was something called the death moon. But hey, have y'all been having a moon? And how y'all been feeling? Like, follow, and share for more content.
There was a crash. Well, humans took it down. It was carrying an infinite energy sphere. The pilot ejected it before the crash and our man found it. They took the pilot to the base in Antarctica, so you need to head there and investigate before the humans download and wipe his entire mind. Something is seriously off in this situation. A lone great pilot with an infinity sphere, rushing off this planet without any permission from us or the Galactic Federation. So you two head to Antarctica, and I'm going to check in with our intel to see what's the word about this in the alien underworld.
Show you how the fucking moon landing was fucking bullshit because everyone's telling you I was fucking wrong. Showed me. Yeah, so fucking explain to me. Here you go. The guy's getting off the rocket ship. Who the fuck is filming him? Who's filming him?
A guy?
How'd the fucking guy get up there if this is the first guy supposed to be on the fucking moon? A different rocket ship?
I don't know.
So they sent the rocket ship up there. He got off and he's like, all right, come on up now. I'm ready to fucking film. Are you fucking serious?
Rocket ship?
He's supposed to be the first guy on the moon. It's bullshit. The car. How the fuck did the car fit in that rocket ship? Look, how did that car fit in the rocket ship?
I don't know.
Okay, right. More bullshit. Then the guy's floating around with a big fucking cord to his stomach, and they're telling you that's his fucking, life support. What's it give? Was it fucking feeding him through the fucking tube like a baby? They fucking, they're bouncing around like a fucking jerk off. Yeah, watch. Let me show you. There it goes. Bye-bye. You know what? I'm gonna stay behind. You guys go back to Earth. I'll fucking die up here. And how the fuck did he get the film back to Earth? Yeah, look, the fake fucking parachute. Hey, we're home now. What happened to the guy back on the moon? They just left him?
I guess so.
Yeah, everyone guesses they don't have any fucking facts. Bullshit.
I don't give a damn if your kid is tired of eating cereal this weekend for breakfast because you're too tired from work. Don't let them eat waffles. You know what I'm gonna say, besties? I know. I'll touch your shoulder. Waffles are on recall. Somebody needs to call Beast Boy and the Teen Titans because this shit is getting out of control. As of today, September 5th, there is a major worldwide recall on tons of fucking waffles. The FDA is urging you not to consume waffles because we have so much other shit to eat right now. This major waffle recall is for 14 different states and it was issued today, September 5th. And because nothing is a surprise, first Walmart, I told you Costco, it's Costco again. Yeah, these are at Costco. Name of the distributor is Kodak Cakes LLC, and there are boxes of buttermilk and vanilla waffles because of the possibility of the presence of soft plastic film. What the fuck is soft plastic film? Kodak said that Costco members in the Midwest region should return the Power Waffles buttermilk and vanilla 40 count with a use by date of January 10th, 2026. If you look here, this is the impact code, but they're saying there is a potential presence of soft plastic film. As a parent who loves to feed their kid waffles on the weekends because I'm so fucking drained, I don't know. This shit is getting ridiculous.
They mixed in with the human DNA the Goetian demons. The which demons? The 72 Goetian demons. If you
can you explain what they are?
Yeah.
Boy, we done came. Now we talking about demons. Hold on, man. I gotta take my black seed oil, man. Like I've been trying, like the whole time. You know how you gotta take something, and you know you gotta take this mug, man, but you don't want to, but you know what's good for you. This shit tastes like lemon and all. It tastes weird, like lemon cleaning solution, but I gotta do it though. You feel me? It got this weird taste to it. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta stay healthy for us so we can keep doing this. I'm sorry. Let's get back to it though.
They would be the princes and dukes of hell. But what we would call hell. Hell, the actual word hell would be H is a gate. The letter H is a gate. And ELL was Elohim, and that would be the fallen angels. So the gates of the fallen. Okay, so that's where they hang out, and they are very, very powerful, but they want to come up here and feel what we feel, because they can't feel what we feel. They can't feel what it feels like when you put some milk and sugar into your cup of tea and sip it. They can't feel that feeling. And they can't feel the feeling when you lust after that girl that you looked down the street at. They can't feel that.
I couldn't imagine being able to like not feel that, walk, and you know you see some donkey meat walking past you, and you can't feel what that feel like. That feeling right there alone is crazy. You feel me? Like I be man, look, I kind of understand them. I'd be mad too.
Podcast talking about, I don't know, to be honest. Here we go.
I'm gonna say something right now. I only said this on the show that's coming out. I can't make this shit up. One day, I get an email. I had a Proton Mail account. Are you familiar with Proton Mail?
Oh, that's like an anonymous one for like drug dealers and shit, right?
Okay, so it's an encrypted email.
Okay, yeah. I got a little too specific. But I've heard of it over the years, yeah.
Okay. I got an email from a guy. This is 2012. He wanted to meet me at a place called Lux Bar. He said he had a job for me. Said the job was paying $52,000 for 5 days. Up front, you get the entire payment. Right?
That's a good deal.
Yeah, okay.
Also, why the f would they pay you up front?
Listen to this. I meet up with the guy. He shows me a ID from the Pentagon.
Oh.
He tells me that he does not trust certain people that he works with, and that he needs me to keep him safe until he can testify in front of Congress.
Oh, wow.
Right? So then he says, Keith, I want you to look at this. Red flag off top, because how do you know my name? I never told you my name. Okay. He could have heard from somebody else, etc., etc. He shows me some pictures. He said, what does this look like to you? I'm like, man, it looks like a desert of some sort. You know, I see like some trucks. You feel me? He says, okay, so this is like a truck to you? Some type of plow truck, something like that? He says, well, according to these measurements, this truck is 2 miles long. So I'm like, what? Okay. He asked me some more questions, showed me some more stuff. Another one was like looked like a protractor or something.
A 2 mile long truck?
That's what he said.
Very confusing.
All right. So I feel me. He says, okay, so this is like a truck to you? Some type of plow truck, something like that? He says, well, according to these measurements, this truck is 2 miles long. So I'm like, what? Okay. He asked me some more questions, showed me some more stuff. Another one was like
2 miles is crazy.
A a protractor or something.
A 2-mile-long truck?
That's what he said.
Very confusing.
All right. So I say, okay, so what am I looking at? He says, these pictures are on the surface of the moon. He say, my job is to scrub these pictures to make them available to get released to the public. So I'm like, okay.
What? I am so confused by this, y'all. I don't know if you are as well. But first, a 2-mile long truck. What kind of road does that go on? What are the turns like? You know what I mean? Imagine you get up to one of those who come out, right? He's supposed to scrub these pictures of the moon's surface to release to the public, showing what? Right? What is this protractor thing that he's talking about? This is so fascinating. And let's be real, guys like this, like they're just like repeating. You know what I mean? I don't think there's any embellishment or any sort of
fluff,
right? Exaggeration here,
yeah.
Right? I do think that he maybe is a little confused on some of the details, as you'll see in the next clip. But it's interesting, right? Like, what is going on? What? You know what I mean? Who is it? Who is he talking about? Right? Because pay attention to this next clip. I don't know if he's actually talking about Luis Elizondo. I think he's talking about somebody else. And I'd be curious, who do you think it is in the comments? Right? Worked in the government. 2012. $52,000 for 5 days. And what was going to happen in those 5 days? Like, what was he going to do on day 6? Was this testimony to Congress? Did it happen? Was it behind closed doors? Right? And what, I don't know. Right? What it had to have occurred, something had to have occurred during those 5 days. Otherwise, why are you paying for security for those 5 days specifically and only those 5 days? And who's footing the bill? I hope those aren't tax dollars. Right? And as you'll find out, he doesn't take the job. So who took the job? I don't know, y'all. This is so confusing, right? So I'm confused, right? So let's jump into this next clip and see if we can get a little more clarification or more questions.
Then he asked me to sign an NDA. He pull out a little folder, unfold the paper, and say, "Want me to sign an NDA?" I'm like, "Oh, okay." I always try to avoid that because to me it's like you're agreeing to something, right? Then the guy goes on to explain to me about some race of people who live at the bottom of the ocean. They have facilities there, and when I refused this job,
sounds like a Little Mermaid, but
until you hear these parts,
okay.
I refused the gig. He tells me someone's occupying our moon. I'm scheduled to testify as a whistleblower in front of Congress about this. Can you keep me safe until then? I had to turn the job down because as soon as I go outside, my car ransacked. My car, for about 3 weeks, my car get towed. I go to pick it up, they give it to me for free. Then, a lot of strange things was happening. You see what I'm saying? And, this guy testified in front of Congress.
And is he still alive?
Yep.
Sounds like if they were willing to do all that to you, that they would be willing to kill him too. Or something to him.
Yeah, so he has something called like a dead man script. So like if he was to die unexpectedly, some type of information would get released. So apparently that's what kept him alive throughout that process.
Oh, that's smart.
You know who Luis Elizondo is?
No.
Oh.
Who's that?
Luis Elizondo is a former CIA operative who just testified. Him and his co-workers are testifying in front of Congress about the same shit I'm just telling you about.
Really?
Are you aware that they're banning abortions because global birth rates are down to historical numbers.
So it didn't get any less weird. And the only reason it's weird is because I just don't know what to make of it, right? Like, it's just some random podcast and this random guy.
It's not a random podcast, actually, bro. It's a pretty large podcast.
Talking about it. And I don't mean random in a negative way, just, not in the circle of things I look into, right? But, there's something to be said with that, right? What are some of the tangential people who have been contracted or asked to participate who are just, right, normal citizens, bodyguards, things like that, security? That's interesting, right? Because I would like to know who took this job, right? If anybody. And how many more times have they done things like this, right? And again, who's footing the bill for this? But look, he also talked about an NDA, right? Signing an NDA, and he didn't want to do that, and he didn't want to take the job, and his car got ransacked. He towed his car, they gave it to him for free, right? It's very strange. And he also talks about this guy having what he called a dead man script, but what he means is a dead man switch, right? That if anything happened to him, all the information he has gets sent out, right, to the public. It becomes public. So, God, who is this guy he's talking about? I am so curious. But he does bring up Luis Elizondo, and why bring that up, right? He also talked about aliens under the ocean, right, that this guy told him. Apparently, this guy was just revealing all kinds of classified information to this security guy. Right? Or maybe not classified. I don't know. But it seemed like he was just like revealing everything he was going to testify about, and or other things, right? Which is interesting. It's just interesting what this guy told him, right? And this guy's been repeating this, let's be real, at all kinds of parties and late night shindigs. Who knows how much the information has changed from when he first heard it. But, my guess is not by much. And to be honest, I think he's sort of underplaying the importance of this, to be honest with you. But look, he also says that the guy did testify to Congress, but behind closed doors, it must have been. Big homie CC, if you're watching this, man, checked out some of your music. I love it, first of all. Love what you've done. If you want to come on the show, I would love to talk to you more about this, right? Because he says that he tells this story in his new show coming out, right? He said he hadn't told it anywhere else but this new show. But, I mean, let's be really, he just meant publicly, but he has definitely told this at parties. And look, I cut it off there when he starts talking about abortion, because basically they just go into talking about like China and global population.
But so all this stuff is shit that you've learned through your years in the game.
Yeah, bro, you'll be working with Army Rangers. Keith, you're a good man. I'm gonna tell you some shit. Listen to me closely. You need to do this. You need to prepare for this shit right now.
Damn.
Keeps me up at night, man.
Really? That's another reason you want to get out of it?
Right. And to spread my true message, which is like, look, we need to prepare for certain impending events. That book Imminent that came out, Luis Elizondo, you need to check that out, Adam.
Okay, I will. There are a couple more questions. Who is the fakest celebrity that you've actually been around over the years?
Okay, so I think he's maybe a little.
Hey, that man Adam, he don't know how to talk about nothing outside of like drama and shit. You know what I'm saying? He can't have a conversation about, regular stuff. He's not used to people coming on that podcast and speaking about things outside of the scope, of him trying to find some juicy shit with the hip hop community and shit and exploitation. But look, let's keep going though. Pretty interesting though, right? Let's keep watching.
It's just why the ocean freaks me out way more than space ever will. So back in the 1970s, that's very important, the 1970s, the Navy had put down an acoustic sensor device, and this went all throughout the bottom of the ocean. Its initial purpose before this project really got going was for them to map out the ocean floor and to be able to detect submarines and things like that. Now, this came out from someone in the Navy whose responsibility was to monitor the sensors on this. They were detecting underwater submersible type objects that were traveling at thousands of miles per hour, which wasn't possible at the time. This happened in the 70s. Said that on top of this, they had detected many structures underwater that were active and that the Navy needed to stay clear of because they didn't fully understand what it was. Like, how does the Navy not understand what it is? And this is a report from someone from the Navy in the 1970s. So much of our ocean has been left undiscovered. Maybe there's a reason why. But a lot of people think that this is a bunch of hoo-ha and it's just a legend. Let me know what you think and come over here.
They gotta be. Let's see. That's why I don't fuck with the water. They gotta be in the submarine or some shit like that. Who brave ass is down there swimming, pulling up on these things? Absolutely not. Not me. I see why we out the ocean. You feel me? Just off of that. Imagine if it was something like they say the Leviathan is out there. Crazy.
There's a lot of things going on underneath the ocean. If you ever fly across the Atlantic to like Qatar or something like that, or Dubai, they have that screen that shows you the scan of the ocean as you're flying over it. Just look at that for a few hours. You'll start seeing things. You'll start seeing what looks like remnants of structures underneath the water. And which is pretty crazy because it's like a scan, so you're seeing what's down there even if it's dark outside. And some of those things look like remnants of ancient structures that have been destroyed or flooded over or whatever. But underneath the ocean, it's one of the greatest places to hide if you're an advanced civilization because nobody's doing any real research down there. And matter of fact, when I saw that UFO when I was a kid, I told two of my friends what I saw and we talked about it, and they were saying maybe it came from the ocean. I was like, yeah, maybe it's from the ocean. I think that under the ocean you'll find a lot of bases there, whether it be alien or ours, I'm not sure, but I think that we will find the best place to hide on this planet is the ocean.
Living in fear because of these gang members being out on the streets.
The city of Aurora has become a focal point of the migrant influx in Colorado after a recent wave of violent crime reportedly linked to a Venezuelan gang.
Fox 31's Ashley Michael sitting down with Aurora's mayor, Mike Kaufman, to talk about it this week on Colorado Point of View.
Earlier this week, we told you Aurora police would be partnering with both the Colorado State Patrol and Colorado Bureau of Investigation to create a new task force aimed at dealing with the migrant gang problem. There have been shootings, other violent crimes, and apartment complexes reportedly taken over by a Venezuelan gang called Tren de Aragua, or TDA for short. Mayor Kaufman says the problem is when Venezuelans come across the southern U.S. border, the U.S. can't get their criminal backgrounds like they can with migrants from other countries. That means some violent criminals are settling here. But the question is, why do the problems seem more prevalent in Aurora than other parts of the metro area like Denver?
The reason why I think the focus is on us right now is that, we've had some buildings that were fairly run down in pretty much the northwest part of the city. Seems like the pattern is out of state, use the term slumlords, where I think what occurred is in the state legislature, they appropriated $2.5 million to give to nonprofits, and I think I want to find out how much the city of Aurora, the nonprofits in the city of Aurora got.
We also talked about the city's newly named police chief and whether or not Aurora is a safe place right now.
Here by the new video surfacing today showing a huge problem with what some are calling gang violence at an apartment complex in Aurora. The video shows men entering an apartment building with several weapons and then busting down a door.
And all of this taking place at the apartments, which had become a crime hotspot in that city. Fox 31's Vicente Arenas was at that complex today as people were moving out, fearing for their safety. Vicente is joining us live from that complex with a closer look at that eye-opening video, Vicente.
It is eye-opening, Erica. It is significant because this is the first time we've actually seen what has been happening inside that apartment complex at different times. This video, there's two different clips you're about to see. One of them, people carrying guns, and another where two people are just trying to break down a door.
The video shows a group of men walking up a stairwell at the edge of the Lowry apartment complex in Aurora. All of them appear to be carrying rifles and handguns, and the video shot earlier this month. One of the men can be seen talking on a cell phone. They all then gather around a door and go in. Another video clip shows men forcing a door open. But what or who they were searching for, not clear. The video was shot in the building where Cindy and Edward Romero lived until today. They loaded up their stuff and moved out.
It's been a nightmare. I've never owned a home before, so this was my first purchase.
She lives just 500 feet from this recently vacated apartment complex near Colfax Avenue and Nome Street.
They got the notice on a Wednesday and they were kicked out on Tuesday. So when it was happening, like, people were just throwing their things out the window.
The city of Aurora said it shut down the complex because living conditions are unfit for human habitation and code violations dating back to 2 years. While the management company claimed they could not do any maintenance or repairs because the complex was overrun by a Venezuelan gang.
There's nowhere for them to go. So they park in front of the house and they sleep when they can.
Max says it causes her street to be lined up with cars, sometimes blocking her own driveway. She captured this photo of a tent and people camped outside near her street. Aside from that, she's also noticed an uptick in crime, like break-ins.
They've taken tools, they've taken the batteries. I'm not sure that they have necessarily monetary value. I lost my husband. And now I'm losing his things.
Aurora police telling Fox 31, since the abatement, they have had 2 calls to the 1600 block of Nome Street, both labeled as suspicious occurrences and relate to being on someone's property and ringing a doorbell. Both have since been cleared, but Max still has fears.
We've lost our security and we've lost our freedom to live in our home. You're afraid to leave because it's not in the middle of the night. It's not in the middle of the day. It's around the clock.
Wow. I wonder who she voted for. I wonder who she plans on voting for, okay? Because we cannot forget that the root cause of this problem was the policies of the Biden-Harris administration, okay? This is why this is happening. Now, Kamala Harris is going to continue those open border policies. I don't care how much she comes out here and claims that she's going to do something different. I don't care how much she flip-flops. She's definitely going to continue these policies. And people are learning the hard way that diversity and inclusion can go wrong, right? When you have too much of it, right? You got these criminals coming across the border and they're committing crimes and causing chaos in this country. People are losing their lives. Now, every time Trump points this out, the mainstream liberal media lies, okay? And they try to fact check Trump and say, oh, no, that's not true. Illegals aren't committing crimes. Illegals are actually better at following the law and not committing crimes than regular, everyday, average Americans, right? This is what they say, okay? No. You don't have criminals coming from Venezuela into the United States. That's not true, even though in Venezuela, their crime rate has dropped significantly because all of the gangs have left. They say, hey, you know what? There are better opportunities in the United States of America because Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are letting the criminals in, right? That's what they've done. That's what's happening. And best believe it's only going to get worse under Kamala Harris because they're going to continue to incentivize illegals to come into this country, okay? They want to grant work authorization permits. She does not want to secure the border. And if she gets in office, best believe you're going to see the same surge that you saw with Joe Biden. Remember when Joe Biden got in office, all these people came to the border, said, let us in? Yeah, you're going to see the same thing if Kamala Harris gets elected. Guaranteed, right? If you think it's bad now, just wait until Kamala Harris presidency. So with that being said, you have a lot of people that have gone to social media to sound the alarm on these Venezuelan gangs because a lot of people are living in fear. Okay, they have to deal with something that they never had to deal with before thanks to the Biden-Harris administration. And this woman is just one of many who seem to be in fear of what is happening in this country. But again, I always ask people, who did you vote for? Okay, and who do you plan on voting for? Okay, because the answers to those questions will determine how much I feel bad for these individuals that are dealing with this problem directly. But for the sake of the country as a whole, I hope these people wake up and realize that their voting habits, okay, a lot of people's voting habits are the cause of this issue.
These migrants are getting worse, and a lot of the media is not covering it. A 19-year-old Venezuelan migrant just literally shot 2 police officers in New York City, NYPD, at point blank. He shot them at point blank range. Now they have him in custody and he's being charged, but what they are saying is that he basically is stating that a gang is instructing him to shoot at cops. We know what has happened in Aurora, Colorado. If y'all don't know, it's not even happening in just Aurora. Now it's transferring to even Denver, Colorado. What is happening is there are squatter laws in Colorado, and what squatter laws are, the fact that they even still exist in Colorado and it is legal, it blows my mind.
All liberal policies. You guys notice how all of the crimes associated with these illegals are because of liberal policies, whether it be at the federal level with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, okay? They're lax, soft immigration policies. And then when you get down to the sanctuary city policies, and then when you get down to the squatter laws, I mean, all of this stuff is a result of liberal, far-left policy. And that's what people have to understand.
The apartment building in Colorado was actually condemned because of the code violations. Now, what tenants was saying is that they were threatening the management or the people that was over the building and not allowing staff to come into the building to like fix it up and things of that nature. Sanctuary city. So Colorado is a sanctuary city, and what that does is it limits. I don't know how much of it is true, but I heard that they were waiting for the older tenants to move out, and then they would move in other tenants and will be taking the money and rent from those tenants. Now, also in Denver, I'm hearing that they broke into many gun stores, and they are trying to do the same thing in Denver. Not only that, we have to be mindful of who we let all of those younger age men come over to the border. We did not lock the border down. And I remember doing a video talking about the border. And
y'all remember when I did that video talking about the border and I showed y'all the Border Patrol arguing because they was arguing with leadership because they was letting all these people in. And then on top of that, look, what are they doing? They're giving them money. They're giving them money. So that's going to create a divide between who? Us. Because we've been here, and it's a lot of people. We can look out our windows and see people living on the streets. It's 111 degrees out here on the daily, and you got people. I done seen people in body bags because they're living on the streets out here, and it's so normal now that I seen somebody laying next to a gas station in a body bag, waiting to get picked up, and people just walking by like it's just a regular thing. That's not normal. Those people get they don't get enough help and aid. But then, you got people coming over here, and that's, what that's going to do? People coming over here getting our benefits, that's going to create a divide. Naturally, the people here are going to start to hate them, and it's going to create chaos and a war against these people. You understand what's going on here? It's not like people want to hate them. Like, we do want to help people, but we got to help ourselves first. How are we in a position to help when we're giving away all of our damn money to wars and migrants, when we have people living on the streets here? We have family members out here that are doing bad, And it's just, we don't even have enough to help everybody. I don't have enough to help everybody. I don't. I wish I could, but I can't do it myself. And it's just putting us in a situation, man. A bad situation at this, And then on top of that, they're betting on the white folks and the black folks, so quote unquote white folks, black folks, not coming together, and we're always fighting. We got to stand for something. We got to stand together. Everybody, black, Asian, white, Hispanic, whoever, whatever you are, purple, blue, pink. We need to stand together, man, and put our foot down, because enough is enough, right?
Here's what I'm saying. I don't have a problem with immigration.
They betting on us being stupid. The dumbest thing we can do is create more division than what we have right now.
It's coming over here, especially when they have dealt with the things that they deal with in their different countries, giving them an opportunity. That's not the point. But the proper thing to do is literally making sure we are coming over their background. Without proper management, this makes no sense. And when I talked about it last time, a lot of people was in my comments trying to come for me. But look, now y'all see what is happening. And then the media is not even reporting or even trying to talk about this. They're trying to push this under the rug. But not only that.
Just like, I'm going to cut this short because they're going to keep talking about the same thing over and over. But just like how black people get unalived by cops and then they put it on the news. But then they run these narratives and these stories like, black folks are the only people getting killed by cops, when in reality, a lot of white people are too, a lot of Asian people are too, a lot of people are getting unalived by cops, but they don't make it public on TV like they do with us. Because once again, it's going to create that illusion of we're the only ones getting targeted, y'all. And that's real talk, though. Y'all got to look at the numbers. Let's be realistic. They say that we kill ourselves, black people, black on black crime, but white people kill each other too, nigga. Like, let's be real. You just had a school shooting, right? Who did that? But not pointing no fingers, it's happening everywhere. But what they're trying to do is make it seem like our situation is worse than everybody else's and vice versa. So therefore, when we come to these tables and we speak to each other, we're speaking from areas of frustration because we feel like we're the only ones that's getting done like this, when in reality, it's all of us. Bars.
the resources that our country is spending on these migrants that have came over. We already know with the EBT and how they have been supportive to these migrants who have came over into our country blows my mind in itself. That's a whole nother video, a whole nother conversation. Don't nobody want to talk about this stuff unless it's on your own doorstep. Oh yeah, let them come over, do this. They benefit, da. But when it's on your own doorstep, then you're going to have a problem with it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's just kind of how it goes, unfortunately, in this country, because a lot of people don't have enough common sense to realize something is bad without.
Now more than ever, we're short of workers. We have a population that is not reproducing it on its own with the same level that it used to. The only way we're going to have a great future in America is if we welcome and embrace immigrants.
But when I speak about this, I'm just, I don't do research and I don't know what I'm talking about. They telling y'all right here. It's a lot of people, stupid people, that be like, oh, that wasn't real. Really do real research. Don't just Google, people. Look up the real numbers. We're in a decline.
Dreamers and all of them, because our ultimate goal is to help the dreamers, but get a path to citizenship for all 11 million or however many undocumented there are here.
Who wants a good laugh? There are people out there right now reading this line and thinking to themselves, well, if that number went down, and if it keeps going down, then that means that someday I'm gonna be a minority.
What?
Who am I gonna blame stuff on? You know what's happening. It's
He's stupid as hell.
The USA is in a fast and ever-increasing decline. And what is being done about it? Absolutely nothing. Population growth, births in this country, the birth rate has been going down for the better part of 50 years. Yeah, ever since women started to get into the workplace, you know what's gone on with the birth rate? It's gone down and down and down. And now it's getting to the critical level. And if it keeps going the way it has the last 10 years, it'll be beyond critical. It'll be beyond what the United States can sustain. In other words, Generation Alpha that has been from 2010 to 2024 has only birthed 46 million people, not 60 or 70 like the ones before it, only 46. And if the next 14 years is that bad or worse, the country is in huge economic trouble. But nobody is talking about it. And nobody is doing anything about it. And I'm just wondering why we're allowing the birth rate to rapidly decline year after year after year, and nobody's raising the red flag and going, we have a problem here. And you people that are in Gen Z and your millennials, yeah, you're going to have real problems because there just isn't a population coming up behind you. So you millennials, wait till you see what the next 20, 30 years looks like, because you will have a very difficult time because there just isn't the population. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think the answer is, because we're not talking about it, but it's getting to the critical level, and it's getting there like now. Like and follow for more. Tell me what you think.
else like too aware. Like I'm too aware that this is all temporary. This is all part of the human experience, and that nothing matters, and that everything is subconscious programming, and everything is made up. Like the days of the week, that's made up. Monday, someone decided this day is called Monday, this day is called Tuesday. It's all made up. Like humans made everything up. Like money, it's just made up. It doesn't mean anything. Like there are so many different things, like road signs, the street names. Like somebody just decided this street is named that name. Like it's so stupid. Like it's really hard for me to live my life and just be a normal person because I'm just too aware. I'm always seeing things from a background perspective. Like I'm seeing everything. I'm seeing through the programming, seeing through the matrix. Does anyone else know what I'm saying, or am I just crazy? Please help me out.
I feel you, but her shoulders was on fucking point. I'm about to get her. She did inspired me. I'm gonna go hit the gym and work on me some damn shoulders today. Your shoulders is on point, girl, and your mind is in the right direction.
Yeah.
Do y'all remember China McClain from the House of Pain? Sweet, cute little girl. Man, she went back, y'all. She went back. She said she was gonna be working for God, and that's the only work she gonna be doing, but she went back. She wasn't telling us the truth. China, we actually believed you. We believed you. We did.
And all this is an illusion. It's an illusion. This industry, for what it is, and everything that people look to and praise, it's not important. I'm doing God's work now, and I'm not doing anything else. I'm just gonna put it plainly, but I am doing God's work now.
Really?
And that is all I'm doing. I don't know why I was wasting time before. I have not played the game well when it comes to the standards of this industry.
As y'all can see, that was before. But y'all stay tuned for part 2, and we gonna wrap this up. It's sad, it's heartbreaking, but y'all always remember that when these celebrities say they're gonna do God's work, like what y'all heard her say, God is a title. That does not mean she's talking about the Most High, even though she referred to him. Will she control opposition? Let's watch part 2. Follow for more.
I'm gonna say it like this with China, man. With that right there, look, we can get into that bag and have conspiracies about a lot of these things, right? I think some of these situations, he could think like that, whatever. He has his train of thought, right? I get it. I understand, because the shit is weird. The industry is weird. But sometimes we have these cases where, you know, people's career aren't going as they should be going, or they thought that they should be going because they played certain roles. I'll give you an example, a realistic one. When I started YouTube, I popped off real hard. Boom. I had 100,000 subscribers within like the first couple months of me doing YouTube, right? But what happened was I was riding the wave, right? And every wave goes up, but every wave come down, right? And when I experienced that first wave of my channel getting lesser and lesser and lesser views, it eat you up in the inside, because you feel like people don't rock with you no more. When reality is not really that. Is that some people move on, you know, some things get repetitive, you know, or they just, you know, they just move on in life. Be frank with you. You know, you gotta bring something fresh to the table. And sometimes you be so clouded with your own emotions and feelings that you can't see that you can also change and you can give them something a little bit different. So in her career, you know, she probably was feeling because she's not getting certain opportunities and roles that, you know, everything is against her. That's why she said she don't think she played the game right. Doesn't mean that she's doing some witchcraft or some other weird stuff like that. It's just probably her career wasn't going the way that she wanted it or seen it going, because she thought, because when I do anything, I try to do it as best as I can. I think I'm top tier at what I'm doing, but other people might not see it that way. And she's just getting a dose of reality. But she should keep going and doing her thing. If she loved to act, let that girl act. There's nothing wrong with somebody being in the industry. That doesn't mean that you have to be involved in all of the bullshit. You might not get certain opportunities, but it is what it is, man. But hopefully y'all got something from this video right here, man. It's crazy out here. Let me know how y'all feel about the things going on in the ocean. Let me know how y'all feel about, you know, this planet heating up, the different borders with all these millions of people coming in, taking our benefits. Well, not our benefits, our money pretty much, you know, but just let me know how y'all feel about this, man. And I'll see y'all in the next one, man. Hopefully y'all got something from this, man. Like I always say, spread love, because there's too much hate in this world. Love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. And I'm out, though. Live, subscribe so you can get these videos as soon as they drop, though. Don't miss out.